Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Farming Simulator 22 as we continue our Swiss chocolate run here. And we just finished fertilizing field 12 over here. We do need to go take care of the other field. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop off this little fertilizer that's in here. Or, let's see, yeah, I'm going to, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to... Yeah, we'll just unload that here. That's fine. We're going to grab the other fertilizer, which is our fertilizer trailer. We're going to come over here just so we make sure we have enough fertilizer for the other field. And, oh, wrong button. About that at a little bit of an angle. Because that one was getting a little bit low. It probably would have been enough, but because it's going to be a smaller field. But just in case, we're just going to go ahead and fill up with this one. We'll have to bring it back to drop this off before we finish the contract, because otherwise the trailer will be out in the middle of a field somewhere. But that should be okay. We can finish 12 at this point. So let me go ahead and get 12 finished off. And it's a good chunk of money. And then we're going to go over to field 25, which is, where is field 25? Oh, way up there. Okay. Now we'll get up there. You can see our guy over there is mowing right now. I still haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with the grass yet. I mean, we got a couple options. We got two options first. Do we want it to be hay, or do we want it to be silage? That's option number one. We need a little bit of both, because we've got all... I guess I should have left some hay aside to make sure we had some to mix with silage to become TMR at some point. But really what I want to do is just let the cows eat off whatever hay's there. It's not like we're going to get a lot of production out of the cows right now anyway until the rest get old enough. So we'll just let them use up all the rest of the hay. And in the meantime, while we're waiting for them to use up all the hay, we'll prepare the silage for the TMR and the straw, of course. And then by the time we have a few more cows, probably that next set of 8 gets to be 18 months old, we should be able to get them up to the 100% efficiency at that point. So we're not really going to be getting much milk. We're just getting kind of like token milk right now. Nothing worth really anything, to be honest. But once we get the rest of those cows a little bit older, we'll be obviously in a much, much better spot. And then we'll worry about the total mix rations at that point. I mean, if somehow they grew to, you know, that reproduction stage quicker, if they were at 100% efficiency, well then, yeah, it would be worth doing that now. But it's going to take, you know, 4 more months no matter what we do. So there's no point in giving them the total mix rations right this second where they're not really producing much anyway. At least that's my thinking. Just sunflowers over here. All right, let's get you rolling. Checking on you. You're about halfway there. My part of me wants to like leave the rest of this just to see what happens, but I mean, do I? I'm a little surprised the stuff around the field hasn't grown. Because it, I know I painted it on, but usually the painted on grass still grows. Tempted to leave like a strip and just like for comparison's sake. That might be what we do. Another thing that we're probably going to get here in a second is actually looking at the grassland care. And there's, you know, ways to obviously improve the yield of your grass. We can do the fertilizing like we did last time, but there's other ways to do it, which is a little bit more, maybe, I don't want to say static, but just different ways. This one can actually plant grass, oilseed radish, and canola. This one can do the grass and the oilseed radish. But this one in the middle is just static. So we've seen this roller before, right? This is the roller that they had in 19 that would allow you to delete fields. In this case, it looks like you can roll it over. Grass rollers and weeders improve the yield of your grass fields. So it looks like we can just roll it over and improve the yield itself. Now, it says weeders do too. But I'm not sure if I'm seeing that right now. So I might be reading that wrong. So this is a different type of roller from this one. These rollers are for rolling under like the stones and stuff like that. This is the grassland roller, which is a different roller. So honestly, we're probably going to lease this one because we're definitely going to be doing that today to try and see what that does to our grass over here. We're already at one stage of fertilization at the moment. You can see right there, we got one stage of fertilization. Obviously, it's growing again because it's, you know, it's ready to go. Oh, we're going to need the harvest the sugar beets. Really hoping, I'm looking for contracts. Really hoping to get a harvesting contract for that. Are any of the other sugar beet fields ready to harvest, actually? Or are there any other sugar beet fields? Maybe that's the question number one. Sugar beets are that pinkish color. There's 7 up here. That's it. So is 7 ready to harvest? No, next month. How long can you leave the harvest? Is it immediately go to withered next month, or is that 2 month? Is there a 2 month cycle there where we could leave it for this month and still be able to harvest it next month? I don't know. I mean, we won't know until we try, right? I'm tempted to try because I'd like to. I mean, I've got to experiment somehow, right? We've got to come up with these answers to these questions. Oh, are you done? Or are you just being difficult? I think you're just being difficult. You are. Okay. We'll see if we can do this mostly ourselves. With a really narrow field here. I feel like fertilizing like this for sunflowers, it would not be effective at all. I feel like the only way to fertilize sunflowers would be to use one of the tall machines that can ride over the tops a bit better and has the sprayers that comes on each sides. Because I feel like this right here, all the fertilizer is just going to hit the flowers right next to it and go nowhere. Plus, we're driving over, even though we've got narrow tires, we're obviously driving over the sunflowers. But I get why they don't like go to that level of detail. You have the option of doing that yourself just to make it a little more realistic. But in the game, okay, fertilizers are fertilizers. At the end of the day, is what they're making it. And I could be completely wrong. Maybe this is exactly how you do fertilize sunflowers. It seems like it wouldn't work to me, but who knows? And truth be told, this spreader is not a very good fertilizer spreader in the context of what I feel like real life would be. Because look how fat those tires are. You'd be rolling over every single crop you ran into. Okay, remember to drop this off before we complete this contract. Kinda important. A little surprised we haven't finished it yet. There you go. Like, come on. We can't be that far off. Oh, you guys are about to see me flip a tractor for the first time. It's a nice, quick little tractor here. Man, I really want that other big tractor we saw that was used. Really like that one a lot. It's a nice, such a big, nice tractor. It's just completely impractical for what we're doing, right? I mean, we don't need something that big right now. I mean, it would be nice someday, but hopefully by the time we get to whatever someday is, you know, that we would need a tractor that big, we're making enough money that we could just buy one outright anyway. Oh, I like the trees. I mean, it makes sense. We're in October, but the tree's a different color and all. That's pretty cool. Oh, that corn. Ready to go. I was okay with painting on this dirt and stuff, but that's because I thought the grass would start growing back a little bit so that I could, you know, just give it a little bit of just whatever. But it's just all flat right now. That doesn't look quite as nice. All right, there's that. And everything else will get sold back. So we are good to complete that contract. All right, so we got cultivating, plowing. Neither one of these is the big plower. And we do have a spraying contract, which we could do without picking up items because we have the sprayer. Yeah. We'll do that. In fact, you know what? I'm going to dismiss you. I'm going to leave those last two little stretches just to see what happens next month. It's not too much. Should be fine. We're going to come drop this mower off over here. And then we'll know. I just put that fertilizer in there and now I got to get the sprayer out. I needed more sheds. These sheds are not enough for me. Come on. I can drive better than this. Come on. It's like it took a second for it to realize that it wanted to turn. There we go. We'll grab the weight for this just to make sure that we're not having any issues. All right, ready to go. Field 16 is pretty close, actually. Yeah, all this money that we just did definitely give us enough money to pay for today's expenses or this month's expenses. So that's good to have. So is this a pretty big field? That's decent size. Oh, this is that one that's a really huge angle. And if I remember right, it's got like a big... It's either this one or the one next to it. It's got like a big hill back behind it. I think it's this one. So sometimes the AI can have some troubles with those hills. All right, go worker, go. What else are we going to be doing? I'm going to go look longingly at the tractor that I didn't get. Where did it go? Hello, Mr. Kloss. Oh, there's a metal roller. That's right. Okay. Okay. We can grab that then. I didn't buy one yet, did I? Oh, I did lease one. No. How did I not see this one? Or did I see it and I wasn't thinking about what it was? I think that's what it was. I saw it, saw metal roller, saw the image, which is the roller that used to delete fields, and did not read the caption at the top that this was the one that improves the yield of grass fields. So I thought this was what, like, okay, we're not going to need that. We're not deleting any fields right now. And then I started drooling over the cost and then forgot to pick up the metal roller. So whoops. Oh well, no big deal. I mean, I could return the leased one and still buy this one and save us a little bit of money. I'd rather wait and see if it works the way I think it's going to work first. If it works the way we think it's going to work, then I might do that, actually. But I'm not 100% sure how it's going to work yet. I really want this thing. But no, it's impractical. I just stop looking at it. Sorry. Ah, so you're going to get stuck on the hill over here, aren't you? Did you just... Did he just intelligently raise it up so it wouldn't hit the hill? They've never done that before that I know of. They always just like get stuck on it and then you're like, whatever. Okay. Thank you, AI, for being a little bit smarter, unless that was just a fluke. We'll find out. How's our cows doing? I don't think I've checked on them today. 100% health. Great. That's awesome. Oh, and 10% reproduction on the older ones. So we're going to start getting some new cows here in a few months. I'm assuming maybe every month it goes up 10%. Is that what we're expecting here? Or is it's probably based on how many cows you have again, because obviously we only have 4. I'm assuming if we had 40, it would be, even higher. In fact, it might have already been at 100% or something like that. At least that's how it worked in 19, is that the more cows you had, the faster the total, but the faster you would get a new cow, basically, or the more frequently you would get a new cow. They're going through the straw pretty quickly. They're going through the hay pretty quickly, but we still got a couple months, I think, worth of both of those. We've got 110 liters of milk. I mean, we got almost about as much milk as we're going to need to do something with it. We can do our first batch of milk soon. What am I looking for? I'm looking for prices. So milk by itself is worth, right now, $743 at the chocolatier, because obviously he wants to make chocolate. I think it's funny that the building that we own, which is the Casseret Erlengrat, is still buys milk. It's kind of interesting. But so milk is $744. Butter, $1,000. Cheese is $2,000. And the production queues for those it's almost 1-to-1. Not quite. It's a little bit of a drop off on the butter. Cheese is a bit more of a drop off. So 2/3 of the milk that we put in goes away. A third of the milk that we put in goes away, basically. So if we put 1,000 liters in, we'll get 666 liters of cheese back. But it's worth a lot of money right now. The cost per hour and the cycles per hour is the same. So there's no difference there. Probably what we'll want to do, though, is if we get to the point where we're putting more milk in than we can process, we'll want to probably turn on both of these so that we're making both. So we're at least getting something from the milk. But it's definitely better for us to turn the milk into either one of those. The butter is not too far off of the prices, because the milk price is actually a really good price right now. And the butter price looks like it's at just kind of a bleh price. Its best selling point is either October or January. Okay, good to know. Cheese is also October or January. Milk is also October or January. So they're all kind of the same cycle of when it's best to sell those. Definitely want to make some cheese. We'll probably wait till we get our first 1,000 liters. Why are you stuck? Please tell me you're not using money. No, you're not. Okay, you're just stuck. Oh, you're out of stuff. Oh, you went through that quicker than I was expecting. Well, then never mind. I could turn on where the worker can buy his own, but nah, we'll just drive over here real quick. It's not super far away. All right, so I think we are going to wait until next month for the sugar beets. It's a risk, but the reward of doing that is that we can get cheaper equipment and probably better equipment, because I think Field 7 is, well, it's not huge, but it's big enough that I think we'll get some decent equipment from it. And if it withers, then okay, whatever. We'll plow it under and we go ahead and plant the crop we were going to plant there anyway. I mean, it's unfortunate, but we got to learn. We got to figure it out somehow, right? How else are we going to learn to what happens? I mean, again, we could go ahead and harvest a big chunk of it and leave some of it for next time. But then what if it does work? Then I'm going to be sitting there like, why did I harvest it and waste all that money of renting that thing? At the end of the day, to me, the only value of keeping the sugar beets instead of plowing them under before now was because I was hoping that I could lease the equipment cheaper from another contract. Other than that, I don't know if it's worth the leasing price of the equipment to have the sugar beets at that point. All right, I'm just going to grab... I guess one's probably plenty. I think 2,000 liters will be plenty. Oh, I already had some over there, so yeah, never mind. It's okay though, I bought more though. Not a big deal. We're going to use it eventually. Glad this thing didn't hold a full 2,000 liters. I mean, we can get the front attachment at some point to make sure we have plenty, but we're not going to need it for this one contract. I mean, unfertilized, that sugar beet field is just not going to have that much crop on it. And so I just don't think it's worth the leasing cost of the equipment. Only if we're going to be able to do a contract with it anyway. Oh, but the problem is that we can't plant the wheat or barley if we do this. Okay. Decisions. I've got to look at the leasing prices of those things here in a second. We'll get this guy set up and then I'll look at the prices. I'm just not sure if it's worth it. Yeah, but losing that entire cycle of wheat or barley is also probably not worth it, right? Yeah, okay. Wish this map would show you like the crop status and stuff like that. You know, I mean, it would be nice. It's interesting this one turns with you. I don't usually use the circular one. All right, somewhere over here. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. Is it right here? Yeah, it's right here. We can see it. Barely. But we can see it close enough that it'll get the job done. Do we have another option if we don't plant wheat or barley this month? Let me get you started and we'll look at the calendar. I mean, the next thing we could plant would be cotton. We could plant oats in March. Okay. Okay, that might work. We wait till next month to harvest the sugar beets. We do a round of grass from December to February. Oh, we can't plant grass yet. Oh, no, we can plant grass next month with the sugar beet harvest. Harvest sugar beets, plant grass. We still have time. And then we can harvest the grass, you know, whenever, before the oats. Can do the oats instead of the wheat or the barley because the oats will still give us straw. And we can harvest the oats in July, August, and then choose whether we want to do wheat or barley after that or something else. We can make a decision after that. I think that's the plan. Wait till next month. Plant grass, plant oats. Okay, I think that's the plan. I do want to just check, though, real quick, just so I have the full information. Beet technology, obviously any of these things would maybe way too expensive, right? I mean, the cheapest one of these is this. This is just to collect them from the ground. So that's not even the machine that harvests them. So the cheapest harvester is this Panther 2. And I mean, yeah, I don't have enough money. Like, I don't know what the money for leasing it is, but it's more than we've got. It's going to be like $20,000, I think. Actually, let me get some money just so I can kind of see these prices. So 20,000, right at 19,000 basically. So yeah, that's very expensive. That's not even counting the header. So once you add the header on, we're probably breaking 20K easy. And then if we come down to just trailers that we can pull, oh, there. It is. We need to get. Well, there's the headers for those other ones, and then we've got the trailer here that does both, right? And I mean, it's better. 5,000. It's not terrible, and we might get 5,000 worth of crop over there. It's hard to tell, but we'd just be much better off if we could just use the equipment from the contract. Might get us a forage wagon at some point. Forage wagons are great for picking up hay instead of just baling it, right? Because they can just pick it up and then just drop off whatever we need. But yeah, because we're going to need some form of hay at some point. But it's going to be hard to put into the if we do the forage wagon, then because it drops off in just one big pile of clump on the ground, if you were to unload it, we would need the one of these things to vacuum it up, basically, to make the forage. Otherwise, if we're going to use one of these, then we'll want bales. I mean, you could scoop it up with the front loader and the shovel or whatever, but it's typically a little bit easier to get the ratio right with bales because you can be like, all right, 1 bale of this, 2 bales of that, 1 bale of whatever. And I forget the exact ratio right off the top of my head. So these are going to be better if you have bales. And we probably will just do balers, right? I mean, can we do a baler? I mean, we could do a baler and a wrapper separately. We did just add these two in with mods recently. We've got this fast baler that does do the wrapping. And we've got this one that also does the wrapping. Honestly, not super expensive. We got this one that just spits out bales. These are tiny bales. I think these might be the ones that we could potentially pick up ourselves. 120 centimeters, not very big. Nice little stacker. And then we would need a wrapper if we were going to make silage after that. So we got options, right? We've got lots of options. I'm going to finish this up. We're going to fast forward time, and we're going to see what the situation is. Oh, I want to get that roller. We're going to try out the roller real quick. There we go. I was like, sometime today. Drop off our sprayer. Knock over a sign, because that's what we do. If you see a sign knocked over, you know I have been there. I don't know why the round map, the fact that it wasn't showing the direction relative to the shape of the map was throwing me off a little bit. I'm just not used to it. Don't mind me. I'm terrible at roundabouts. Pretty sure roundabouts, you just go the shortest distance possible, right? Like, isn't that how those work? Isn't that why they're more efficient? All right. Drop this off back here. Go grab us a roller just to see what in the world it does. Well, we've already got the roller, I should say. Go pick it up. And then we'll fast forward and see if our crop is still alive. And if the grass has grown anymore. Oh, I remember to pay off some of my loan that I just grabbed so that we don't have a huge chunk of money to pay. I like to keep that as low as possible until we need the money, just so I don't forget. I assume this will operate basically the same. Or we pull it out there, unfold it, then we have to hook up to the side. I mean, yeah, why not? Because it looks exactly the same. It literally looks like the field delete. If this thing starts deleting fields, I don't know what I'm going to say or do. It's going to be a bit annoying, but whatever. It might roll under that grass that we've mowed already, too. I honestly don't know what it's going to do. All right. Unfold roller. Unhook. I mean, can I have my worker do this? Is he smart enough to know what to do? I mean, it is a different color, but it is also keeping the hay there. It's not deleting the field, so far so good in a lot of ways, right? And what is it doing? It is, where am I? Oh, over here. It is fertilizing at that second stage of fertilization. And it's immediately flipping it back to growing. Oh, so do we have to do this? Like, is this like mandatory? Part of me wants to experiment with that as well, to like leave like a little one line at the end there to see if it will grow on its own. Huh. It's kind of funny that's bouncing over the piles though. It's like, I don't think you would normally do this with the piles sitting there. It is a little funny though. All right, well, he's going to do his thing, and we'll check out the rest of this. Well, it's going to take us a while to roll this. Maybe I should have gotten the bigger roller. Make it go faster. I mean, this will go eventually. It's going to take a little while. We'll figure out what happens with the sweet sugar beets next time, I guess. We'll come back next time, check those out, and I'll probably let this run and just get mostly done with this before I do the fast forward and come back from that. So I do appreciate you guys watching, though. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye.